Hi everyone. Oh god. Oh, this angle is so bad, but I'm charging my phone and I literally couldn't use I have another tripod, but it extends to a point where I can't the charger will only work at a certain angle, and so the tripod that I was using didn't work. So here's a big ass shot of my computer. Um anyway, Hello, everybody. This is Chelsea. Welcome back to the Armbridge podcast, where we dismantle the system like the revolutionaries we are. Last week we had some technical difficulties, which is totally chill. And we didn't have an episode at the time, but 2 weeks ago we released our tier list, or our triple or quadruple S tier list comeback special. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. It's a little niche, but we do encourage you to check the songs out, and you can send some songs our way. We might use them in a future episode. Today, I'm just kind of talking. I don't really know what I'm gonna talk about. I'm on break right now. Oh god, this angle is so unflattering. Let me see if I can okay, that's a little bit better. Okay. Well, anyway, today I'm on break. I've been on break for a few days now. In Canada, we have a week, or not well, Canadians have a week-long break called Reading Week. I don't know if this is true across all Canada or if it's just universities that do this or whatever. But Reading Week is basically your Thanksgiving break. It's just a week long to do whatever you want, no assignments. There's anything going on, but honestly, I still have assignments to do, which is it's quite exciting. Well, I mean, technically I don't have to do them, but it would be kind of stupid if I didn't do them. And yeah, I started to feel like school itself is just it's so routine, it's so boring. I was really excited at first to learn a bunch of stuff, but even that has become pretty cumbersome, and my motivation levels have gone down into the dirt. There's that phrase, or I don't know, going off the roof or something. What is it? Um you know what I mean, right? But is there a saying for something that is so abysmally terrible or just boring that it goes below the ground? I don't know. I didn't really have anything prepared today to talk about, but I do sort of have a brief idea. But actually, I wanted to tell this story. I don't know how true it is. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, because I was planning a few things to talk about for a solo episode, and this was one of them. This doesn't fit into anything I was just talking about. I was talking about slight burnout. But now I'm just gonna tell this story because whatever, who cares? I kind of care. That's why I'm talking about it. I don't know. Anyway, I remembered this for some reason. I don't know why. I think I was just thinking about it in the dead of the afternoon. This isn't even a midnight thought. This isn't a shower thought. I was just thinking about it. But basically, when my brother was really young, right? He wasn't even old enough to go to school yet. He got a re-gift from somebody. How could you tell that it was a re-gift? Well, next door, we have neighbors. They have 2 kids, a girl and a boy, right? But at the time when my brother was young, I think their son had just been born, so I could tell that this gift was supposed to be for the girl. And the girl, at the time, maybe she was a year or 2 older than my brother is right now, or not right now, she's a year or 2 older than my brother. And it was a see, I don't know if I'm remembering this correctly or if it's just a weird fever dream, but I think we received an Orbeez foot spa thing. You know how people buy Epsom salt or whatever to soak their feet in? It was an Orbeez foot spa or something. I could be totally wrong. I didn't bother to ask anyone in my family if this story was accurate. I was worried it would just be weird. So I'm just recounting it from memory. Um, and anyway, like before I guess I get into like the semantics of like foot spas for children, right? I feel like regifting to me is like sort of a touchy. It's not touchy. I just have like I guess some hot takes on it. Um, I feel like with regifting stuff, right? I don't think it's bad. It all depends on like your intention, right? So, I guess for example, if you have like a friend who's really into art and let's say you get a paint by numbers kit or whatever, and it's like too intricate, you're not really into painting or art, but you do appreciate someone gave it to you. But you think, oh, this friend's birthday is coming up, and the friend who gave me the paint by numbers kit won't be there, won't know about this happening, so I'm going to regift this to someone else that I think will use it to its like full potential. You know what I mean? So I feel like in that sense it's not so bad. Because you have like this intention and you have like you know that the gift that you got would be better used by someone else. So I think in that case it's not so bad. But see, I don't really know like what my neighbors were thinking when they gave this to my brother. But it was blatantly a regift. Like it was quite obviously it had been not tampered with, but I guess like the price had been erased and it hadn't been opened, but it was obvious that like it had been regift because obviously it was for the daughter of the house, right? And at that point you're just kind of passing on this burden to somebody else. Now I don't maybe they were like close for time, like maybe they forgot about buying the present or whatever, right? Like I totally understand that. That's happened to me before. Um but at least I've always thought about like giving someone something that's at least new or like handmade or something, right? Um yeah, so like again, I don't know what their intentions were. I just thought it was like really obvious. Like if you're gonna regift something, you have to be kind of sneaky. You know, that wasn't really sneaky. And okay, now I'm gonna get to the logic of like spa toys for children, right? I don't get it. You know what I mean? I don't get what Orbeez are for in the first place. I don't really know what the appeal was. I get that they're kind of fun to play with in a way. It's a very tactile toy, if that makes sense. You know, you have like moon sand, you have Play-Doh. These are things that kids like to use because they feel fun to use and they're malleable. But Orbeez, I don't know what you would even do with those. Second, right? What 5-year old or like 6 or 7 or 8-year old, right, is so stressed that they would need a spa day? Like, I get that I don't want to undermine like the stress that kids go through because at every age there's something stressful that you have to deal with, and growing up is really hard. Um, but I don't know what, you know, no kid comes back from recess or a long day of playing at school and is like, you know what? I need to soak my feet in Orbeez. I don't know. I don't know. Like, what? I'm sorry. You know, I would think maybe if you have like Orbeez jewelry or maybe I don't know, a way to like maybe melt the Orbeez to make a solid structure. I don't get the appeal in making it a spa thing. You know, it's so weird. Like no kid thinks that. Even though like I'm legally an adult, right? Um I've never I've found other ways to like relieve stress as like a young adult too, like, you know, watching TV or even like playing outside, even though that was tiring, that's something that relieves stress. So I thought that was just a really weird. Now this isn't like my neighbor's fault. You know, who is marketing this? I don't know. I'm really sorry. It's just weird. It's just so weird to me. Um, but you know, I guess kind of going on that note, speaking of being a young adult, um, I've started to like get into things that I feel like old people like, and I don't mean to be, I guess, critical of like growing older. I don't think it's necessarily bad to be whatever age you are, of course, but I'm easily swayed now by like a lot of things. I went to Home Goods yesterday with my mom because we were looking for, um, if you don't know, right? Home Goods, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, they all sell like seasonal holiday foods. Like those packs of like assorted cookies that come in a box, and chocolate covered pretzels and all of that like holiday food. TJ Maxx and Home Goods sell like just really good stuff. You go to the food aisle, they have all kinds of cool snacks, so I would definitely recommend that. We were actually at Home Goods looking for this gingerbread cake cookie thing called Lebkuchen. I could be saying it wrong. But it's basically like this really soft cookie. And I mean, yeah, duh, I just said it tastes like gingerbread. The packs that we usually get, they have like plain, they have glazed, and they have chocolate covered. So they're like really good. They're so good with like coffee and whatnot. But anyway, I was there and I was freaking out because they were selling these mugs for like $4, and there were so many cat mugs. Okay, I'm not even that old yet, but I'm already adopting like these tendencies for sort of useful cat memorabilia. I was like in the aisle for maybe a solid like 2 or 3 minutes agonizing over which cat mug to pick, because there was like a Christmas one, there was an abstract sort of one, and then there was the one that I ended up getting is, oh my gosh, this ginormous one. If you're watching the video, it has drawings of like different breeds of cats. It's so detailed. It's so nice. And I thought, rather than the Christmas one, which seems only appropriate to use like once a year, I mean, you could use it anytime you want, but I thought that it was just perfect for any time of year. And I can also agonize over what kind of cat I want to get, because all of the different breeds are around the cup. And it's huge too. It's like comically large in a way. Like there's just water in my cup right now. I don't know what else I would put in there. But yeah, that's like the first thing. The first thing is like being attached for me, or the first aspect of like being an adult is like automatically being attracted to any form of like cat memorabilia. I mean, $4, it's a steal. It is such a good deal. I'm looking at it right now, like this is a great purchase. Genius. It's so smart. I also, my mom also got me these like there's a cat paper clip. It's right on my desk. There's a cat right here. I don't know. I think at one point I'm just going to like collect and rank all of my cat stuff. Oh my god, I also have these pajamas on my bed. I just looked at them. They say Meowy Christmas on them. Like Merry Christmas. But it's Meowy Christmas. Get it? Because I'm sorry. I'm okay. Actually, I will detail. So I've detailed 3 pieces of cat merch, I guess, that I own. In the immediate area that I'm sitting right now, I will detail to you, audibly and visually, the different types of cat memorabilia that I have. Okay, actually, oh my god, where is it? I have this genius like cat tape dispenser. So, like Scotch tape, it normally comes in like, the round snail looking package, right? So I have a cat one right here. It's a black cat. And at the bottom of its paws right here, there's like a the cutter, like the ridges at the bottom for where you cut the tape. And the tape is in here. I just put washi tape because I already have Scotch tape and it wouldn't fit in here. So like from the bottom, you just find where the tape ends and then you take it out and you cut it off. I got it in Japan. It was like $1. It's pretty genius. I love it. It's great. I think I have these like cat pens. Oh my god. I'm just gonna give me like a second. Oh my god. I have this one brown cat pen. If you can't see, it ran out of ink, but I just like keeping the old pens that I have that are like really nice because it's just such a waste if I just like throw them. And then I have this blue one. It's a little bit more expressive. His eyes are a little bit bigger. And it's nice because like there's a little fishbone on it. Right there. It's this long blue pen and there's a little fishbone. It's really cute. Oh my god, I swear I have more. Oh my god, okay. I got this pack of, this is my Aristotle book. It's so nice and shiny. Anyway, I have these like magnetic bookmarks of cats. Look at how silly this cat is. This cat bookmark that I'm holding right now in my hands. It shows like a Siamese cat knocked over some milk. It's so silly. It's so cute. And I like these magnetic bookmarks because they have like magnets on both sides. So if I open it, there's a magnet on the top and a magnet on the bottom. And oh man, I lost my page. Oh my god. I legitimately don't know what page I'm on. But if I want to like mark a page in my book, you just like open it and then you snap it over the page that you're on, and it's a little, and it sticks out a little bit. You can see the ears at the top. It's so cute. And I like it a little bit more than like traditional bookmarks because traditional bookmarks will just like, I don't know, they're just not as like fun and exciting. Oh my god. I'm like on this high right now. I really don't want to give up showing off all of my merch. I have this pencil bag where I keep all of my pens in. I got it from the Philippines like like maybe 9 years ago? Yeah, before I went to 4th grade. And there's a little cat on it. He has a hat. I don't know. I just thought it was really cute. I don't know why I bought it. I just kind of got it because it was cute. It's very surface level for me. Like whenever I see cat related stuff, it's just very surface level. I think, yeah, for now that's all I have. Like in the immediate area, there's probably more stuff that I'm just not really. Oh, well, okay. I guess I can show my backpack. So I was really excited to go to college. Because I painted my entire backpack, and well, it didn't come like this, but on this side I painted this character who looks like a cat from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. He's sort of like a spirit Pokemon, kind of. It's a long story. Check out my solo podcast, Movie-ish, link in the description. And I talk about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but anyway. He looks like a cat. It's one of my favorite like stands or characters in the show. And yeah, I just painted it on the side. I thought that was cool. So, wait, I'm not done. I'm so sorry. This episode, I was not prepared for it. And I'm just kind of talking about whatever. I had a lot of coffee today. I had it in this giant ass mug. I filled it like maybe halfway with coffee, which is kind of a lot. But since it was half the mug, I was kind of like, yeah, maybe it's just half the mug, but it's still a lot to drink all at once. I have these like cat shoes. I've only worn them like once or twice. I don't know why. I think it's just like the stuff that I wear generally doesn't go with these, but these are Bob's, you know, like they weren't rip-offs of Tom's. They were just kind of like offshoots or some. I don't know if they're rip-offs. I don't know. I don't really like Skechers, but think my mom got these for me. But look at all the little cats. They all like have these like different personalities. All of them have glasses. Good for them, smart boys and girls. I hope I can wear these more often. Maybe if I just go for a walk or something. But okay. That was my lightning round cat merch review. What was I even talking about? Right, okay, I was talking about the things that I felt like characterized me as an adult. So the first one was like collecting cat memorabilia. The second, I think, is like Pilates. I've been looking up like workout videos because going outside is kind of like, it's kind of just icky at the moment. I was running a lot at the beginning of quarantine, and I actually got like a lot better from how I used to run. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, because I ran every day, I just got better and better, or I was able to run longer without stopping. Albeit I can't really do a mile all the way through like I used to, but I felt a lot stronger from that. And I would only go out like when it was kind of chilly. It was pretty chilly in like March and April. A little bit of May, it was pretty temperate, and then it just got really hot, and I stopped like I stopped going outside. But yeah, I've been looking up like more Pilates videos, and I feel like really tired out watching like the YouTubers like Blog Pilates, Chloe Ting, Rebecca Louise. They're the ones that I like, I guess, do workouts from the most, and they're just like talking during the workouts, or not so much Chloe Ting as the other two, Rebecca Louise and Cassidy, I think, from Blog Pilates. So they talk so much, and they're like doing these workouts and stuff, and they're like just talking about their day, like, yeah, the other day I went to the grocery store, or yeah, the other day I was like with my husband, whatever. They're just like, and I'm just here dying, sweating. I have to take breaks every like 30 seconds because it's too crazy. But yeah, it's just insane how they're able to talk through that. So that's like number two, doing like Pilates. I don't know why I associate Pilates with middle-aged like suburban women. I don't know why, because I live in a pretty suburban area, and at the gym that is in my neighborhood, it's like a community gym. So like we have, homeowners residence tax and everything like that, so the money that we pay will go to like these services which are free. And they always advertise like Zumba and like Pilates, very mom things to do. And now I'm doing those. I don't know what that says about me getting a little bit older. And I don't know. Yeah, those are like the two main things. Also, I've just grown like tired of, I don't know. I've just grown tired of like a lot of things, and I kind of understand now why my parents get irritated at the things that my brothers and I do sometimes. So I kind of respect that a little bit more, being at home all the time and having to deal with like everybody all at once, kind of. And I don't know, being the oldest, I feel like I have all these like intrinsic responsibilities that were just sort of ingrained into me from the very beginning. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. Maybe if you're an oldest child, you can kind of relate. But ever since I was younger, I've always been told to be responsible for other people. And I don't know. It's a little weird with me. I don't think it's like inherently bad. To some extent, like I do agree with it, but at the same time, I kind of just want to be alone, right? And I think there's like this weird sort of contrast that I have like with myself. I want to be alone, but I also know that the things that I do and the actions that I pursue, right, still affect other people, whether or not I want them to. I don't know. Because, with college advice and whatnot, like my cousin's been asking me things My younger brother has been asking me things because they're both, or well, my cousin's a senior and then my brother's a junior. So they're at this age where they're like they have to think about college, but honestly, like I don't know how good my advice is, but at the same time, I'm like one of the only people they can take advice from. And obviously my experiences are very different. Um, so I don't know. I just feel like sometimes I'm responsible for a lot of things that I don't have to be responsible for, and that even though I'm on a break right now, like I still have to take care of so much stuff because I have like I technically have more free time because I don't like most of my classes are asynchronous, and I can do them as fast as I can complete the tasks I have to do as fast as I want, or as slow as I want. So it becomes sort of difficult for me to like allocate my time because every moment that I'm not doing schoolwork, I just want to be by myself. But at the same time, I know that I have to use my time to like help out around the house or maybe drive to get something. And I don't know, I just don't ever have like a moment to myself, which I don't think is bad, but sometimes I think like I take it a bit too seriously. Whatever the outcome is, I've just been easily annoyed recently, and I stay up late because it's the only time that no one is awake and I can just do whatever I want by myself. um, it's nothing really crazy, honestly. I've just been watching more anime. Uh, I've had like this huge anime high. Like I really just want to watch more anime. Um, just touching into my old self, I guess. And see, I don't know if this is like true with everybody, but whenever I watch shows, I watch like a shit ton like all at once. And I don't finish it. Like I get some of the way through and then I just watch something else. I take a break and then I watch something else. I don't really know why I do that. It's not because I don't like the shows or anything. It's just I can't sit and binge watch something through its entirety. Like I have to stop and take a break. Um, the only thing that like I've really binge watched the whole way through recently is probably The Good Place, but there aren't that many episodes in a season, and each of the episodes are only like 20 minutes long. So if it's like, because I finished season 4 in like 2 days, which I know some people will probably say like, oh yeah, I finished it in one day. That's fine, I guess. Um, but yeah, I finished it in like 2 days. But then again, it's so short. It was only like 12 episodes. Um, well, technically, yeah, it was like 12 episodes, but the last episode was like really long. Um, but yeah, I'm this week, while I'm on break, I'm going to try and watch all of Satoshi Kon's movies. He had like this really huge hit with like his movie Perfect Blue about a Japanese idol singer, not like a real one, like a fictional one, and the dangers of stardom and whatnot. So I'm gonna try and do that. Actually, I don't know if this counts as binge watching, but while quarantine was going on, like in the early stages, and it was like the day before spring break, so it was like Friday, the Friday before spring break, I decided to go on this mission to watch like all of Wes Anderson's movies, and I did so within the span of like 2 months, which like could obviously be done faster. If I did it like every night, I'd be done in like 2 weeks. But yeah, I watched every night. I would sit down to watch something. I would watch a Wes Anderson film until I finished. And yeah, I'm gonna try and do that again a little bit faster with Satoshi Kon. But Satoshi Kon only has like maybe 5 or 6 movies, so it's not that many. I don't really know how far I'm going to get. I've been watching Yu Yu Hakusho recently. If you guys know Hunter x Hunter, that anime, it was made by the same person. It's pretty good so far. It's really charming. I really like it. And I've only gotten through like maybe like 15 episodes in the past 2 days because I've been staying up really late. And yeah, I've also been watching, what else? The most recent season of Show Me the Money. You've probably heard me talk about Show Me the Money. I'm like debating whether or not I should just do a whole rant review on the on the series itself, because I have like so many hot takes, especially about last season. But anyway, like if you haven't seen it, it's just a very addicting show. I watched all 3 of the most recent episodes. They're being subtitled for free by like I believe they're based in the Philippines by a translating group, so they're doing really well. I might link that in the description as well. I watched like all 3 episodes, but the thing is, each episode was like an hour and 30 minutes or an hour and 40, and I started watching at like midnight, so I finished watching all of them at like 5 in the morning. So yeah, I don't really know what that says about my viewing habits, but that's just sort of a rundown of all of them. Yeah, is it healthy? I don't really know. Probably not, but I'm gonna continue doing it anyway. And okay, we are at that time where it's kind of the end and I don't know what else to talk about. Hopefully you enjoyed whatever I just talked about. I'm like trying to recount in my head what I just told you guys, but I can only remember the Orbeez, which are now gonna live like rent-free, bouncing around in my head. Before we get into deep questions with friends though, our song of the week is Cabin Fever by Jaden Smith, or he just goes by Jaden, I think. And I really like this song. It's just so calming and beautiful in a weird way, and it perfectly describes quarantine without explicitly saying, yeah, quarantine sucks, we're all stuck inside. It sort of captures the magic of being home alone all the time. So I really enjoy the song, and if you put it in like slowed and reverb mode, it's great. Slowed and reverb songs, I know that they don't take much effort, apparently, production-wise, but they just amplify the songs so much, and they hit different when it's like really late at night. So go stream that. There will be a snippet of it here on Anchor and Spotify, and I can't put it on YouTube for now because copyright. And if you're listening on those mediums, here's the song of the week. And if you're not, we're going on to deep questions with friends. Enjoy my computer. I'm just gonna try and. That was easy. I didn't even have to move that far for my computer to get out of the frame. Man, I kind of miss allocations questions because they're a little less taboo. Conversation starters world is just wild in. They're doing the most. I feel like it's been a while since I've done a deep questions with friends, because when we filmed the comeback episode, we filmed them in the same day, so we filmed them back to back, and that was like maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think, when I did it. I don't really know. It's been a while since I've done deep questions with friends. I'm doing it alone this time. Alright, I'm just gonna like jump right into the first one that I see. On this website, number 144, it says, as people, we feel our moral obligation weaken with physical as well as emotional distance from individuals in need. Okay? For example, you're more likely to help someone dying of hunger at your feet than someone dying of hunger in another country. How does this human trait of morality dependent on distance shape our world? See, I think, honestly, it mostly has to do with like familiarity, right? Again, if it's someone dying from hunger in your city, you have the immediate resources around you to act upon it. I think sometimes like things like the media and perception really shape the way that we view like other countries and other entities, right? For example, when I first went to the Philippines, I was like, this moment radicalized me. This was like my first like radicalizing moment. I was 9 at the time, and one of the first things that I remember being there is seeing a girl, maybe not much younger than I was, maybe 4 or 5 years younger than me, basically begging for money while there was like traffic, because we were stuck in traffic from the airport or something, and yeah, she was like begging for money, and that was like, to me, I realized like how, I guess, I don't know, I just thought it was like so crazy, but I also felt like this disconnect because at the end of the day, like me and that girl are both Filipino, right? um, but I felt less familiarity with that. To me, you know, my parents always told me like how great it was growing up in the Philippines, which I don't doubt, right? I definitely don't doubt that for sure. But like my perception of the country was like totally changed, right? Because I thought, you know, why can't whoever's in charge like fix poverty, right? Obviously, it's not that easy. I was 9, um, but you know, like when you start to realize how hard things are, it becomes harder to act upon it, right? Like obviously, it's really hard to interact with entities outside of my own familiarity because I just don't know how, right? Like obviously, there are cultural customs and maybe governmental issues that make it hard for these countries to progress past where they are. Um, and it has to do with like your familiarity, right? It doesn't mean you don't want to help people outside of whatever, right? And I mean, recently with a lot of things going on, especially SARS in Nigeria, there was also Lebanon, um, when there was like an explosion, right? All we could do, we can't act immediately on that because we can't like go to those governments, we can't go to those countries. But people were sharing information, and I think just the awareness of how, I guess, corrupt other places are or other things are kind of, you know, speaks to our morality that like we still want to help, but it's not necessarily bad if you don't know about something and then suddenly, like if you don't know about it, it doesn't make you bad for not helping because it's just not something you're familiar with or something that you're exposed with. Because I definitely think that there are some people I follow that probably aren't as, like, I guess, politically active, right? And maybe they follow people that aren't as politically active, and that just shows in the long run. I don't know if that makes sense. I think with these deep questions, I kind of just talk until I feel like I've hit the answer. So I don't really know if I hit that answer. I don't know if it's good enough. I'm like on this really weird coffee high. I'm simultaneously really awake and really tired. Just casually flexing my cat mug. Just kidding. Yeah, I kind of am. Go to Home Goods for some like good deal mugs. Um, this was $4. This big ass mug was $4. It's like the perfect novelty. You know? Okay, actually, real quick, number 3 on my oh I realized I'm an adult list is I don't mind getting gifts like mugs, socks, you know, maybe mittens, or just things like that, right? That normally you'd be like, because you can't argue with a mug. I got this mug from my friend. It's also really big. Has like a picture of hot sauce on it. It's so simple, but I can't argue with it. It's so useful, and I use it all the time. And my other friend, for my birthday last year, he gave me like these really thick socks that are the softest things in the world. Like when I put them on, I was put into this state of euphoria that I can't replicate. I was so happy. I don't know why. I was so happy. Um, but they were just so thick. I never used them last year because I guess my feet never really got cold enough, but I put them on for those 10 minutes before my feet like just started dying of sweat. Maybe like last month. I was elated. It was the best thing ever. So, if you're watching this, thank you for the socks. Best thing I've ever gotten in my life. It's great. Okay. So the next question, why are humans so susceptible to magical thinking? There's a little definition for magical thinking here, which is not opening. Oh, it's opening. Okay. So this article says at the top, from Psychology Today, magical thinking. Even hardcore skeptics can't help but find sympathy in the fabric of the universe and occasionally try to pull its strings. Maybe I'll think about this in terms of like manifestation and miracles and whatnot. I think it's because we're tired. You know what I mean? Even people who are like atheists and stuff, right? There's, I think it's deism, where you don't necessarily like believe in a certain religion, but you believe in God. Because there are just some things that you work your whole life towards understanding, but at the end of the day, you might die without ever understanding it. So coming to like a shorter, more, I guess, magical conclusion that may or may not make sense, um, is like reassuring for some people, you know? And I don't think magical thinking has to be super um, outlandish, right? Sometimes if I think about something embarrassing, I assume what the other people have thought in that situation, or I assume, like, yeah, people probably don't remember this the same way I do, or I try to, like, brush it off like that to sort of, I guess, feed my own insecurities. So I don't think it's necessarily bad. I do think it becomes, like, I guess, quote unquote bad when you think to the extent that I don't know, that it becomes like dangerous. Like maybe if you don't believe in science, or I don't know, if you don't um, believe in like some, like, if clearly, like, maybe in the situation that you were, I don't know, a jerk to somebody, and then you try to deny it, like, obviously that's just being ignorant. But magical thinking, I think, it sort of has a purpose. It fulfills a need in some way. So yeah, I think, yeah, we're susceptible to it because we want to fuel our insecurities. We want to fill it with something else. Because sometimes looking for the facts is too much work, and you just need an answer just to put your mind at ease. So that's that. And this will be our last question before we close up. Actually, I've never looked at the top of this list. Let me see. Okay. Oh. Um. Okay. What harsh truths do you prefer to ignore? Honestly, I don't think I ignore harsh truths, but I imagine an alternative situation. Okay, like for example, right? If I get a certain grade on something, that's the harsh truth, right? Like I don't accept that, or I thought I should have gotten a higher grade, right? The alternative situation would be like, oh, I should have done this. Oh, if I only did this in that moment, or oh, if I started this earlier, and then I did this, I would be good. So it's just like imagining things that I could have done that might have led to a better outcome, and I agonize over those rather than facing the harsh truth. Um, I mean, I acknowledge that it happened for a moment, but then I imagined like an alternative situation. I don't know, is that ignorance? I'm not really sure. I think I have a hard time doing things that initially made me embarrassed, or I feel like I've mentioned this example before. I don't know where, but there's this tweet that's like, sometimes if I'm at parties or whatever, I stand in the corner with my data on and just scroll through the settings app. I've done that so many times. And I think the harsh truth that I ignore is just like trying to put myself out there, but at the same time, if I don't think I will be received with the same amount of kindness or attention, I tend not to jump into those situations. I'd rather stand in the corner with my data on, right? Um, I don't know. I think because I feel like stuff like shyness or introvertedness or willingness to do something, it's really hard because at some point, sometimes putting yourself out of your comfort zone can be good, but in what case is it detrimental to you, right? Or at what point are you not being yourself? Sometimes I think I'm a bit arrogant if I think like this. I don't know if this is the same with other people, but sometimes I don't put myself out there because I know I'm not going to enjoy it based on like previous like logic and stuff. Like sometimes I don't like going to parties unless someone I know is there because I don't envision me having a good time or someone's friends getting along with me or whatever, even though they probably will, right? And this has happened before. it happens every time I go to a party with a lot of people I don't know. But at the end of the day, I always have like fond experiences of those times, but the initial thought of like going into it is not fun. So yeah, I don't know if that answers the question. I never know if I answer these questions. I could be totally off, but whatever. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my rants about, I don't know what. Hopefully, hopefully it was like kind of interesting. I listened to a few of our old episodes, and sometimes I never know like what I'm saying and if what I'm saying is like good. So thank you for bearing with me on that. We have concluded today's episode. Make sure to check out our website. There isn't much on the website, but it's always updating. We also have a feedback form on the website, which like I guess we would really appreciate if you filled out, because we sometimes think about doing things to the podcast, or we think about improvements or things that we might not be doing as efficiently, and that's like our perception of it, right? But ultimately we want to make the podcast more accessible and more fun for you guys listening. So please take the time to fill that out at armbridgepodcast.card.co, and make sure to follow us on Instagram at armbridgepodcast and on Twitter at armbridgepod. Please follow our Twitter. Like, we have some really good content. We have some really just random content on Twitter that we think is like kind of genius, so please follow us there. We will see you, Sonica and I will see you next week with the comeback special part 2, and yeah, alright, okay, that's it. Very unhinged episode, but hopefully you enjoyed it. Bye bye.